Hey, I hope you guys are doing good today. We are going to be watching the SCP-049 Sad Origin Story. This is the Plague Doctor, and I feel like this is like the only one that I kind of found recognizable to me as far as like the SCP lore goes. So I'm very interested. And I also want to like go a little deeper in some of these, like now that I've gotten a couple origin stories kind of under my belt, I am very curious to know more about some of these. So I think in the future, I definitely want to watch some Volgun videos to kind of get that depth. Like, we can go a little deeper in these. But I'm very excited for this one. If you do get a chance, I appreciate if you can leave a like and subscribe. And I will have Dr. Bob's video linked in my description below. So be sure to give him a like and subscribe. He does a really good job with these. All right, let's see this sad origin story.
The year is 1630, and the city of London is bustling with new life. The streets are filled with people going about their daily lives, cramming into housing and businesses, and struggling to accommodate the rapidly increasing population, which has more than doubled in the previous 50 years. Among the new citizens of London is a dark figure who keeps to himself, a man in long black robes and a beaked mask, dressed like the plague doctors of the Black Death centuries before. The figure that will one day be known as SCP-049 has come to London town to embark on the next chapter of his life in his ongoing quest to solve the ills plaguing humanity. Though one might expect his appearance to make him stand out, most of the citizens surging through the city streets have far more important things on their minds than what the man in the mask might be up to.
I like this angle. I like this idea of this one. I wonder, like, is he supposed to be good or bad or a little bit of both? I'm curious.
So he has managed to carve out a little sanctuary, an empty warehouse where he rests and works. When curiosity gets the better of him, he slinks down alleyways, avoiding crowds and listening for any whispered secrets he can catch from the shadows. It is on one of these outings that he hears tell of Henry Percy, also known as the Wizard Earl, a mysterious researcher of science and the occult, held in Martin Tower in the Tower of London. A man of wisdom and curiosity, pushing the boundaries of scientific study. That is just the sort of man that the Doctor has been hoping to meet and learn from here in this great city. The Plague Doctor swiftly abandons
Is this mask part of him or is there somebody underneath him or like this is him, like this is his whole makeup?
his sanctuary and makes his way to the Tower of London, where he makes swift work of the guards that would bar him from entry. He does not enjoy harming innocents, but
Mm.
alas, some sacrifices must be made in the pursuit of greater knowledge and understanding. Leaving a trail of bodies in his wake, the Plague Doctor makes his way into Martin Tower.
Excuse me, sir. I apologize for the intrusion, but as a fellow academic, I wondered if I might speak with you.
But as he enters the chamber, the Doctor finds that his polite introduction was wasted on an empty room.
Oh
Wherever this
no.
Wizard Earl might be, he is not in his designated quarters. Fearing the worst, the Doctor searches for signs of a struggle, for bloodstains on the floor or overturned furniture, but everything appears to be in its rightful place. Where then could Henry Percy have gone? The Plague Doctor explores every inch of the tower, searching for any clues that might point him in the direction of the missing man. He inspects every item on every surface, pulls every book from every shelf, but as he pulls one particular book from its spot, the bookshelf appears to pop loose
Ooh.
from the wall like a door opening. Indeed, it is a door, revealing a dark, winding stairway just beyond its secret opening.
Ah, so this is where you have disappeared to.
Truly, this Earl must be a clever man, a good ally to have in the battle against the pestilence. He
What is he doing down here though? Cuz no nobody just has a secret hideout like this for no reason, whether good or bad.
follows the stairs down, down into a small room in the bowels of the tower. It is a sparse, barren room, with only a stack of journals and a large iron door. The Doctor spends hours searching for a lock or other mechanism to open the door, before turning to the journals left behind by the tower's occupant. There, he discovers the instructions for unlocking the iron gateway, directions he recognizes from his time studying alchemy. Fortunately, he has all of the necessary materials tucked away in his trusty doctor's bag, and he is able to effectively perform the esoteric procedure. As he dusts off his gloved hands, content with a job well done, he hears the click of a bolt unlatching, and the second secret door he has discovered today swings open to welcome him in. Ever the adventurous spirit, the doctor picks up his bag and crosses the threshold into whatever awaits him on the other side. As the iron door shuts behind him, the doctor gazes up into a yellow sky dotted with an infinite number of black stars. A breeze blows the scent of dried flowers, mold, and the dusty pages of century-old books into his nostrils. He hears the sound of waves lapping at a shore and turns to take in the sight of a thick black sea washing up onto a stark white shore.
Where did he end up? Like, what is this place? It sounds terrifying, but also probably really intriguing.
The world around him is an array of black, white, yellow, and red. The yellow sky reflecting in the inky waves, the glittering black stars dancing above garish red buildings, white staircases, yellow doors, and black windows made from something like stained glass. This strange new place is not empty either. All around him, there are as many people bustling through the streets as there are back in London, though there
Is this like a different realm, different world? This is wild. This is crazy.
all around him, there are as many
All
people
this is down in
bustling
the
through the streets
basement.
as there are back in London, though their attire is quite different. These people dress in a way that feels familiar, that reminds the plague doctor of the ornate clothing he once saw at the Carnival of Venice. The people cover their faces too, commedia dell'arte masks hiding their features and giving them a mysterious appearance. For the first time since the days of the Black Plague, the doctor is keenly aware of the fact that he does not stand out in this place. In fact, he blends right in. Now to search for
That's got to be such a weird feeling for somebody like this that probably always stood out, and then he was quite the icon if you're a plague doctor, like in that kind of image, and now you're somewhere where you fit right in. I bet this is like a whole like what the hell's going on?
stand out in this place. In fact, he blends
What if these like aren't even people though? What is this place?
right in. Now to search for Henry Percy, or anyone else who can offer the doctor some helpful insight. Uncertain of where exactly to start, the doctor decides to simply strike up a conversation with a stranger. A woman walks by in an elaborate red gown, her feathery white mask almost resembling a swan.
Excuse me, madame.
The doctor calls to her, stepping into her path.
No time to talk, I'm already quite late.
She brushes past him, and the doctor braces for the ill effect of physical contact between the two to take hold. However, she continues on her merry way, seemingly unaffected by his normally deadly touch. He watches her go, stunned into silence for a moment. The
What if they're all dead? What if these are all dead people? Oh God.
citizens of this strange new place. It is safe for him to touch them. Something else catches his eye about the woman too. Up close, it seemed to him that her mask was not a costume piece, but in fact, a part of her face, much like his mask was a part of his own.
Okay, so that mask is him, and then all these people are like him. Oh, is this maybe like where he came from then? Like, is this where our origin is? Like, he figures out like where he came from. Oh, this is interesting. This is good.
How curious.
He remarks aloud to himself. Henry Percy can wait. This is a far more compelling matter.
Yeah.
I must uncover more about this land.
And so the plague doctor takes a long stroll through the unusual city, noticing as he goes that the geometry and gravity of this place do not play by the rules he recognizes. Buildings slant at odd angles, alleyways and corridors appear and disappear, as the layout of the city seems to shift at random with each glance. The people themselves are just as bizarre as the place they occupy, behaving either uniquely rudely or entirely too familiar. Pushing past the doctor with a glare or tugging at his robes insistently, attempting to pull him down an alleyway or into a rapturous bout of sudden fevered dancing in a town square. He refuses these advances as politely as possible and
This would freak me out. Even if I was something like some sort of anomaly, this would freak me the F out. I'd be like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
sudden fevered dancing in a town square. He refuses these advances as
Please leave me
politely as
alone.
possible and carries on his way. An elegantly dressed couple gives him a friendly wave as they walk by him. Not an unusual occurrence. What is unusual is where they are waving from, looking down on him from an upside-down staircase that they
Oh.
traverse with no trouble.
Oh, wow.
Some other gravity source holding them in this reversed position as they disappear into a dizzyingly constructed building.
Fascinating.
The doctor shakes his head in awe. Then it occurs to him. He should be taking notes on all of this. He opens his bag and digs around for his leather-bound notebook, but can't seem to find it. He stops on the street and begins dumping out the contents of his pack onto the stone walkway. Jars of specimens, salves, syringes, and surgical tools all tumble out, but no notebook. It must have fallen out of his bag somewhere on his journey. Or worse,
Oh no.
it could have been stolen by one of these flamboyantly dressed strangers.
Ooh, right? Oh man. What if somebody stole it from him and then they're trying to figure out like why they're there and then this causes like chaos? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm so invested in this.
No, he mustn't allow his mind to jump to the worst possible explanation. Most likely he simply dropped it somewhere, and he only needs to retrace his steps to find it. He begins to walk back the way he came, as best he can find it in city streets that seem to warp and change with every moment like the landscape of a dream. He approaches dozens of people, but each stranger he speaks to brushes him aside, rushing off to their far more important business. They seem to look at him with disdain, like something
What is this important business that everybody needs to get to? Like, are they all going to the same place, or is it different things? Like, where are we going?
rushing off to their far more important business. They seem to look at him with disdain, like something foul stuck to the bottom of their fine shoes. It is discouraging, and it seems as if the notebook may very well be lost forever. But then, hope. Amidst a sea of people hurrying to their next destination, the doctor spots a man in a red cloak standing notably still, leaning against a nearby wall. The figure looks up at him, eyes shining behind a red mask in the shape of a happy, smiling face, reminiscent of the figure of Il Capitano from Commedia dell'arte performances the doctor dimly recalls. He sheepishly approaches the grand figure in the cloak and red mask, explaining that he is an outsider to this place. When the red-masked man speaks, he speaks in a warm voice, but with a distinct air of authority.
Welcome to Alagada, sir, for that is the name of this kingdom. You are fortunate, very fortunate indeed, for I am the Red Lord of Alagada, wearer of the Mirthful Mask, a chief.
He gives me like a devil vibe, like smooth talking with bad intention type of deal. You know, like on Baldur's Gate 3, like kind of like that.
For I am the Red Lord of Alagada, wearer of the Mirthful Mask, a chief advisor to the king.
Being a man with medieval origins, the plague doctor bows deferentially the second he hears that he's in the presence of a lord. With his knees on the ancient cobblestones below, he begs the Red Lord for assistance in finding his precious notebook, the bearer of all his research and valuable scientific secret. The Red Lord pushes himself away from the wall, standing at an impressive height, seemingly suddenly far larger than he had at first glance. His face seems to strike a sympathetic tone, as sympathetic as one can be while wearing a mask. With a grandiose hand gesture and a dramatic stride, he asks the doctor to follow him and begins strutting off down the alleyway. The doctor has come across a person with good manners in this confounding place. He follows close behind the Red Lord as the two traverse the unstable.
Maybe this Red Lord is collecting all these people though, him included. Oh man, I'm just saying, I get a weird vibe from our Red Lord here.
Place. He follows close behind the Red Lord as the two traverse the unstable landscape, following a yellow cobblestone street to a winding black staircase that curls around and around in a seemingly eternal spiral before tilting dizzyingly on its side. The doctor hesitates, afraid he will lose his footing, but much to his surprise, the laws of gravity seem to shift along with the angle of the stairs. It feels as if he is still walking along the same even plane as before, though he can see the sights below now jutting out of view at a disconcerting right angle that makes his vision swim and his stomach turn. So he turns his gaze onto his companion's back, matching the Lord's every confident step. He wonders idly where the man is taking him, but decides to hold off on additional questions until they have reached their destination. The Red Lord comes to a stop at the top of a tall, thin tower. He stands before an unusually shiny black door that curls down at the edges, like the entryway itself is frowning. He sweeps his arm in the direction of the door and beckons the plague doctor to follow him inside. Before the plague doctor can even mention that the door has no handle or knocker, it simply opens of its own accord, as if by magic. He shakes his head. The Red Lord has already vanished inside, and he quickly follows him. The color palette of Alagada is already quite limited, but this room is stripped of the scant bits of bright pigment found outside. Not a scrap of red or yellow can be seen here, save for the suddenly garish garb of the Red Lord himself. The chamber is decorated in black and white, shimmering black velvet and cold, cruel white marble or something like marble, as this material has an eerie, icy sheen that almost hurts to look at. In a large black chair that again curls down at the edges in a melancholy fashion, there sits another masked man. He is clad in black robes, and his pale white face bears the face of tragedy, open mouth curved into a permanent
Oh,
frown of
man.
anguish. The Red Lord gestures to the figure in the chair, who does not speak, and introduces him as the mighty Black Lord of Alagada.
The mighty Black Lord? This sounds very eerie. I wonder if this maybe like where he came from? I don't know. I don't know. This is all wild though. This is all below this guy's study. God damn.
In the chair, who does not speak, and introduces him as the mighty Black Lord of Alagada. The Plague Doctor can see the Black Lord's eyes following him from within the holes of the mask. A mask that members of the SCP Foundation would later refer to as SCP-035.
Oh.
The Doctor asks whether the Black Lord can help him find his book, puzzled at this whole situation.
Gonna have to take note of that. Maybe I'll watch 035 next. Because now it's all like crossing over here.
The Doctor asks whether the Black Lord can help him find his book, puzzled at this whole situation. The Red Lord throws his head back and begins to laugh, a warm and genuine sound that nonetheless sends a shiver down the Doctor's spine. The Red Lord claps a hand on the Doctor's shoulder, giving it a squeeze that feels encouraging and threatening all at once, explaining that he'd been brought here under false pretenses. The Lord's already had the book. The Black Lord just needs a favor before he can have it back.
He got lured here, so this was like a whole plan? How'd they know? Oh, man.
Lord's already had the book. The Black Lord just needs a favor before he can have it back.
Thank you for accepting my invitation.
The Black Lord speaks, his voice hissing out from the scowling mouth of his mask. The Plague Doctor protests, demanding his book, furious at the deception.
Oh, you'll get them back.
The Red Lord laughs again.
The Black Lord will return them if you prove yourself worthy of their ownership. I bid you farewell, Doctor. May your stay in Alagada be pleasant.
Oh my god.
The Red Lord sweeps out of the room, leaving the Doctor alone with the Black Lord. Silence hangs heavy between the two, before the Doctor asks the Black Lord why he'd even want a physician from another world to attend to him. The
Ooh,
Black
yeah.
Lord wheezes and spits up black slime that corrodes the ground beneath him.
Oh, is he sick? Like, is he having problems? Like, he can't figure out what's wrong with him? So, then he found his book and maybe thought there was an answer in there? Or maybe thought he was the answer? I don't know. I don't know.
To him, the Black Lord wheezes and
There's
spits
so
up
much
black
here.
slime that corrodes the ground beneath him. The Doctor shakes his head.
I am no miracle worker, only a simple doctor.
Yeah.
I struggle to treat the ailments of my own world. I do not wish to disappoint you, but I have failed again and again to cure the pestilence that plagues my home. I do not know if I would have the capacity to cure you.
The Black Lord's frown seems to deepen.
I am very sorry to hear that. Perhaps I should keep your notes for myself then, and give them to an Alagadan physician for research.
So he totally thinks he's the answer, even though this plague doctor or, whatever, doesn't think he is. Damn.
Keep your notes for myself then, and give them to an Alagadan physician for research.
The Doctor's composure breaks. He stomps about the chamber, flinging open every door he can find, searching desperately for the work he'd spent his extremely long life painstakingly compiling, the work that represented his sole efforts in the medical field. He stops at a padlocked door on the far side of the room, grabbing hold of its lock. The Black Lord suddenly cries for him to stop, but it is too late. The Plague Doctor has wrenched the lock free from the door. As soon as the Doctor lets the lock clatter to the ground, there is a horrid skittering sound, like the legs of a massive metal spider crawling along a wall. Click, click, click. And then, all at once, the formerly padlocked door is thrown open with such force it nearly rips from its hinges. A creature crawls through the opening,
Oh.
a monster with the body of a shiny yellow spider, a smooth white humanoid torso, 2 long clawed arms, and a round, featureless orb of a face. It lashes out blindly, raking its claws at the Black Lord where he sits on his chair. Then, before the Plague Doctor can even try to apprehend it, the monster rips through the main door of the chamber, climbing out and over the edge of the tower, and down to the city below. The Black Lord shouts for the Plague Doctor to help him.
What about the monster? What will become of it?
The Plague Doctor's mind races, trying to wrap around what he just witnessed. But the Black Lord has no interest in the monster. The city guards will take care of that. He needs help with his own injuries.
So is this dude gonna die or is he just gonna be messed up? Man, this is chaotic. Oh my gosh.
Interest in the monster. The city guards will take care of that. He needs help with his own injuries. The Lord groans in pain, a thick black substance leaking from his wounds and spreading across the
Oh
once pristine
man.
white floor. The Black Lord implores the Plague Doctor to treat him. The Plague Doctor remembers his duty to all that suffer from illness and injury, an oath he once took a long, long time ago, and he opens his doctor's bag, ready to get to work. He has no grasp of Allagadan physiology, no idea where to begin in terms of performing any procedure on the Black Lord, but he cannot stand idly by and watch this man suffer.
So he's not that bad, I guess. Or I mean, I guess so far. Like he doesn't seem like he's inherently evil, but I would imagine that he has a lot of power. You know, like he's pretty powerful. And it is interesting that like there's nothing underneath his mask. Like the mask is all like that's him. Like I guess it's like, you know, like he's not wearing a mask. Like that's him as a person. That is really interesting. I also find it like really fascinating that he was able to find this world or realm or wherever we are at in here, and everyone's kind of like him in that aspect of everybody's not wearing a mask. That's just kind of like how they are. It's this is all really really interesting to me. This is crazy.
He begins pulling instruments from his bag, vials of phosphorescent elixirs and foul-smelling tinctures, and begins to improvise. He cleans the wounds with gauze dipped in one of his many tinctures, then begins treating them. The Black Lord's shallow breathing slows to deeper, calmer breaths as the medicine begins to do its job, and these positive results spur the doctor to work faster. He seals up each of the wounds, then slathers them all in a glowing green salve to prevent infection, if infection even exists in this world.
Right?
When the work is finished, the Black Lord sits up, seemingly to be completely recovered, except for the visible stitches and the tearing of his robes.
Thank you, Doctor. I stole from you, and yet you helped me anyway.
That's because he has some good in him, you know, like even though he might do some questionable things, I think at his core, I don't, you know, I don't think he inherently like wants to uh watch the world burn necessarily.
Allow me to return this to you, along with my sincerest gratitude.
He reaches into the depths of his robes and produces the doctor's leather-bound notebook.
Take it.
The doctor snatches the notebook from the Black Lord's grip and returns it to its rightful place inside of his bag.
Villain,
He mutters to himself as he does.
our ways may seem strange to you,
The Black Lord says.
but these are troubled times in Alagada. All is not well in the court of the Hanged King. There is deception and betrayal everywhere. All kingdoms encounter periods of strife.
The Plague Doctor remarks.
If you will excuse me, now that I have treated you, I will be on my way back to my own land. I do not wish to stay here any longer.
I don't blame
Of
him.
course.
The Black Lord waves him toward the door. As the doctor prepares to leave, however, the Black Lord speaks again.
Are you quite sure that is your land, Doctor? You look quite like the child of a woman I once knew, long ago.
Oh, yeah, see, this is what I was thinking. Like this is like where he came from. Oh, and then like he kind of recognizes him. Damn.
You look quite like the child of a woman I once knew, long ago, who made the mistake of defying the king.
Oh,
She had the face
oh.
of a crow, as you do. A mask that was not a mask. Excuse me?
The Plague Doctor does not understand.
Were you born in your world? Were you a child there? Do you remember it that way?
The Black Lord asks. The doctor thinks for a long moment. He cannot recall ever being anything other than what he is now, a doctor with a singular purpose.
This is him as a baby. he just he just kept growing.
He cannot recall ever being anything other than what he is now, a doctor
Ooh,
with a
that is
singular
weird,
purpose.
right?
I do not.
It's like he's just like he only remembers just always being the way that he is. Oh man. Oh man.
Other than what he is now, a doctor with a singular purpose.
I do not know. Perhaps, dear Doctor, this is not your first time in the land of Alagada, and I imagine that, with time, you shall walk its twisted alleys once again. Consider that.
Wait, so like if the people that were looking at him and they were disgusted by him, did they think they thought they knew who he was or like where he came from? Did he look familiar to them? Or is it this place is just kind of messed up?
Time, you shall walk its twisted alleys once again. Consider that on your journey back to the place you call home.
The
Mm.
Black Lord laughs, a low, hollow sound.
Farewell.
Eager to be rid of this place with its lies, tricks, and monsters of many shapes, the Plague Doctor takes his leave. This journey he hoped would provide some answers, but instead, all he found were more questions than he ever could have
Oh,
anticipated.
yeah. I really, really like this one. This was really good. This was so interesting, and because I don't really, I kind of enjoy watching the origin stories of things because I feel like then, like, maybe later on, like, when I wanna go a little deeper into them or, like, see what they've done and stuff like that, it just kinda, like, adds a little more depth to them. So I really, really enjoyed this. This was really good. It's very interesting, and I wonder if there's more about, like, if he ever figures out where he came from. I'm very curious. I do wanna watch Volgun's video about the plague doctor too, and then I think there is a live action one also. Like, I mean, I guess he seems like he's pretty popular. But this was great. I really enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you guys being here. Be sure to go and like and subscribe to Dr. Bob. He does a really good job. But that's gonna do it for me. I hope you guys had a great day, and I will see you in the next one.